Hello my dear friends and welcome to my channel. Don't forget to make yourself a cup of coffee if you want, because today we have very interesting stories, and one of them is a story about a woman who decided to break rules, and this caused a crap show. Please subscribe if you haven't and I hope you'll enjoy it. For the sake of privacy we'll call him Stitches as he was the biggest snitch of all time. Now Stitches, while also being a huge narcissist, also had a history of complete apathy and slight psychopathy. When he was in the Cub Scouts he straight up tackled a kid and choked him because the kid asked him to lighten up and have fun. That cub never came back to the pack after that, and I completely understand why. Anyways, I was going on one of my first camping trips with the troop. It was about my third or fourth time, and I was starting to get the routine of camping down pat. Now there were rules with my troop about sleeping in tents. One was that everyone had to have a tent buddy, meaning both you and the buddy had to set it up, sleep in it, keep it clean, and take it down. In other words, pretty standard stuff to help the scouts bond with each other, and it definitely worked. I'm still great friends with some of the kids I met in the troop, but for this trip I had the misfortune of being paired with Stitches, since I missed a meeting because I was sick, and I got paired with him, since no one chose him. We drove over to the site and got straight to work setting everything up. One pair needed help setting up their tent, so I explained to Stitches that I was going to help them out and he should get started without me, since we're slowly losing daylight. Our scoutmaster also had a rule that we weren't allowed to start a campfire until after all the tents were set up, and it was going to be a cold night, so I thought I would help speed up the process. I finished helping those two and I came back to see the tent still in the bag. Stitches hadn't even touched the damn thing. When I asked him why, he complained that I wasn't following the rules, to which he was right, but that meant that I had to set up the tent in the dark. Notice how I said I and not we because he didn't help at all. Way to be a hypocrite, but whatever. I needed a place to sleep and I wasn't going to be petty like him. Now at this campsite there was a hiking trail that led to an abandoned railroad. We hiked it the next day at the perfect time, so we'd get back to the site right in time for dinner. On the hike, I found a rail spike on the ground and I thought it would be a good souvenir to take home. I just moved so I have no clue where it is, but I do still have it somewhere. Anyways, we got back from the hike and ate our food. That night, we made sure to have our tents cleaned out so we can leave early in the morning. I had left the rail spike in the tent and forgot to pack it up in my bag and put it in the car. The car was somewhat far away, so when I found it I just left it there. Stitches didn't like that. When we were heading to sleep, Stitches found it and the following conversation ensued. "What's this?" "It's a rail spike I found on the trail." "Pretty cool, right? Why didn't you pack it up?" Now I had, and still do have, a dark sense of humor, so I cracked a joke. "Well, if something gets in the tent I can stab it and we'll have a nice breakfast in the morning." Stitches fell silent and avoided me the next day, meaning I had to take the tent down myself. We had a meeting the day after we got home from the trip and Stitches was nowhere to be seen. My dad explained that he got a nasty email from Stitches' dad about the remark I had made and that his son didn't feel comfortable in any environment with me. I was shocked and near the point of tears as I thought I could have gotten kicked out of the troop, and apparently he even tried to make that happen. The scoutmaster turned that down since he knew me and knew that I was way too much of a weak to do anything of the sort. I apologized profusely to the kid at the next meeting I saw him at, which was a rifle shooting class. Ah yes, let 10-year-olds have it, machines literally made for killing. Stitches and his father were both uncomfortable at the sight of me having a gun, which would be normal if it weren't for the fact they were comfortable with everyone else. They tried to make the instructor kick me out of the class, claiming I was a psychopath, look who's talking, but to no avail. I ended up being quite the sharpshooter, and the instructor even let me use his handgun. I was the only kid that got to try it out, and it was pretty cool, although I would never hand a person younger than 25 a loaded handgun if I were an instructor. What's funny is that Stitch's father was kicked out of the troop for literally trying to stage a coup and become the scoutmaster. I ran into Stitches and his dad a few times as they started their own troop and showed up to big scouting events. Stitches seems to have grown up a bit. He even apologized to me once when I ran into him at a scouting summer camp. His dad would still give me and my troop looks though. I am happy for you that the other adults realized that Stitch's father was a jerk. I feel sorry for kids like Stitches. Too many of them have no idea how to break out of the cycle of being the kid that nobody likes. So here's a little background first off. I have a drama degree, yes I'm currently working retail, thank you for asking. During my degree I got offered a gig as one of Santa's elves at a fancy hotel. This was a legit job, £10 an hour, 2 floors of a hotel completely transformed, we all wore costume and makeup, the Santa had full SFX makeup on, and was a trained actor. It was lit. We had an online booking system where the parent, guardian, teacher or whoever was bringing the kids filled out a form. Basic stuff, what time and date would you like, how many kids do you have, what are their ages and names. Easy peasy. So basically the party would arrive in the hotel lobby, be greeted and signed in by an elf, get a whole magical welcome speech. That elf would escort them up in the lift to a ballroom all decked out in winter wonderland theme with music, cake and sweeties, drinks, mulled wine for parents, balloons, party games, a face painter, magician and party princesses. It was amazing. Anyway, it was in an area of England known for divas, hair rollers and heavy makeup, so when a lady came up in the lift with a full face of makeup, hair curled to perfection and dressed to the nines including heels at 10 a.m., none of us thought anything of it. This is our EM. EM looks around for a weak link among all the little kids, hotel staff, princesses and elves, and she spots me. 5'2", painted on rosy cheeks, covered in glitter and making a balloon dog for a little girl. I am the chosen one, I have ascended. I am worthy. So she comes storming up to me and it goes a little something like this. Oh you. Well hi there miss. Are you here to see Santa? I freaking thought I was, yeah. Oh. Please don't use naughty list language, where kids and Santa can't hear miss. I hurriedly finished the balloon because I don't want this little girl getting frightened. I hand it to her and she scampers off to her mum. Are you a manager? I'm Santa's head elf, yes. How can I help? You can tell me why your staff are so freaking useless. I realize she doesn't give a crap about the kids in the room, so I guide her out into the hall and close the ballroom doors. I drop character and ditch the high pitches American accent. Listen, I'm really sorry. Can you tell me what's happened and I'll try and fix it? You'd freaking better fix it. The stupid witch downstairs is saying I don't have a booking. I've freaking booked with your online form. I ignore the witch comment because I just want this woman sorted as soon as possible. Oh, that's not good. Let me take a look at our bookings. I go grab the clipboard with a printout of the day's booking on it. We had one upstairs to tick off each group as they came up in the lift. What name have you booked under? Karen idiot. Nope, you're right here. The girl downstairs must have just missed you, idiot party, 1 adult and 3 kids. Oh for fuck's sake you're all as thick as each other. Excuse me. It's 30. 30. You've brought 30 kids with you? Yes because I've freaking booked and paid for 30 kids. I've brought my son's whole class as a treat and you idiots are ruining it. Now, I know for a fact she hasn't booked 30 kids because A, her booking had the amount she paid on it, which was £50. £15 per kid and a fiver for adults to cover their wine and snacks. This is expensive, but remember it was an upscale hotel with really good food and entertainment and it included photos from trained photographers. B, because of the amount of time each individual kid got with Santa, 20 minutes each, we only took 30 kids a day. Which added up to 10 hours a day. She'd made her booking 4 days prior when people had been booking this date for weeks, so the form wouldn't even let her choose 30. So basically, what I think has happened is she offered the day out for the kids, then dropped the ball and booked 3, hoping we'd take it as a computer error and fit them in. Right, I'm sorry but I think there's been a bit of a mix-up here. A mix-up? You're stressing me out and ruining Christmas and you call it a mix-up. Are you planning on letting me speak? Excuse me? How dare you speak to me like that? Listen, I'll happily stand here all day and let you shout, or we can try and sort this. It's up to you. I've paid a fortune to bring these kids here today, of course you're going to sort it. Actually madam, you've paid £60. If you had booked 30 children, you would have paid £455. Are you calling me a liar? Not at all, I just think you might have got a bit confused with the booking form. It can be hard if you aren't used to it. Alright then, I'll pay the rest. Have you got a card machine? Unfortunately we can't accommodate a large booking today. What? Each child is allotted 20 minutes with Santa and, not including your 3, we have 21 other children booked today. We simply don't have the time. Well, you'll just have to stay open then, won't you? No, I won't. That would require me to keep staff in until roughly 5 am, break labor laws, licensing laws, and greatly disturb the sleep of hotel guests. It's not doable. Are you joking? A few of your staff wouldn't be bothered to stay late to make Christmas magical for a group of children. Nope. The law doesn't allow it, I'm afraid. We all arrive here bright and early at 8 am, meaning we wouldn't get the legally required break between shifts. I'm sorry, but my hands are tied. Well then, you'll have to come and tell a group of 30 children that Santa doesn't want to see them. She reaches out to grab me, as if she's going to drag me to the lobby. I just snatch my arm back and take a step away from her. Sorry, I've been away from my work for too long already. If you're willing to come back at about 7:30 this evening, then Santa may be able to come down and say a quick hello as a group. I paid for what you advertised. You said they get 20 minutes each. You're welcome to bring 3 of them up for their 20 minutes, which is what you paid for. Em takes a deep breath, as if she's meditating. Then she looks at me with a bright, obviously fake smile. Listen, I really didn't want to do this because it's so embarrassing. But you know who I am, yeah? Guys, I had honestly zero idea who this woman was. I even looked at her booking again to see if I recognized the name. Nope. She could have been the milkman's second cousin for all I knew. No. Her face drops like a piano out a window. She's now a weird mix of confused and angry that makes her look vaguely constipated. Are you serious? Yeah. You don't know me? No, should I? Before she can answer, my little radio crackled and the lobby elf, LB, calls for me. I hold a finger up to EM and walk a few paces away to talk privately. Me, are you there? Yep, go ahead. Did a blonde lady head your way? She left a massive group of kids down here and I can't keep an eye on them all anymore. They're going mad down here and I need to check in new arrivals. She's been gone way too long. She left them there, yeah. I've got a doorman keeping them inside and one of the receptionists is guarding the lift. He's already stopped about 5 of them from coming up to you. Right, give me a sec. I turn to EM. Have you not got another adult with you? No. I'm chaperone. Right, I'm going to have to ask you to return to your party and keep watch over them, please. Fine, I'll go get them. We'll be right back to sort this nonsense out. No, you may not bring an additional 30 children up here. We haven't got room and it's a fire hazard. I didn't freaking know if it was a fire hazard, but it sounded authoritative. They'll be fine. I'll put them in the party room while you find room for them to see Santa. Y'all, this woman hasn't heard a word I've said. Also, no, she freaking can't take an extra 30 kids into the party room. We have a specific amount of cupcakes, sweets and drinks, and I was not going to have other bookings turn up later and have nothing to eat because EM let her pack of wild children eat all our stuff. No. They cannot go in there. There isn't enough party food. Plus, it's the waiting room to see Santa. And I've made it perfectly clear to you that your group will not be seeing Santa today unless you come back at 7:30 and accept a group meeting. You're welcome to rebook for another day. Just go buy more. You can't exclude kids from a party, it's not fair. I can when their adult hasn't paid the entry fee. Listen, I'm not wasting any more time with you. Cut everyone else's time to 10 minutes and half the cupcakes. They won't know any different. As freaking if. Madam, I will explain this one more time. You have not booked correctly, that isn't my fault or the fault of the hotel. You haven't paid correctly. You have abandoned 30 children into the care of one person downstairs. You have 3 options. 1. You rebook and come back another day. I'll transfer the £60 you've paid into your new booking. I will gladly have the elf downstairs tell the children that Santa has had to go back to the North Pole for the day. Option 2. 3 of your group come meet Santa, as you have paid for. I can bring them up while you keep an eye on the others. The rest of you may come back at 7:30 for a group meeting with Santa. The children will not receive alone time, treats or individual professional photos, but I will have enough spare toys for them. Or option 3, you leave now, I refund you your money, and you do with it what you wish. EM screws her face up like a baby eating a lemon and then just explodes into screams again. You're a freaking disgrace. You're going to ruin Christmas for 30 kids. 30. Screw you. What the hell is wrong with you, you obese witch? Full disclosure, I am pretty chubby, so this got me a bit riled up. Alright, option 4. I call security and have you removed from the hotel. I lift my radio to call security. You're a freaking idiot. Guys. This witch hawks and chokes for a second before I realize what's happening and step back. She spits on me. Now, it hits me in the chest, but if I hadn't stepped back I'd have gotten a face full of leftover teeth whitener and saliva. Disgusting. I fight down my revulsion and look at her blankly. She stood there all tense, obviously expecting a fight. But I'm a classy witch, so I just walk to the lift, push the button and gesture for her to get inside when it arrives. Then radio security as soon as the doors close. I didn't get to see firsthand what happened once she got down to the lobby, because security called me in to change my costume and fill out an incident report straight away, but a receptionist later told me she was dragged out screaming in full view of her gaggle of kids. So I'm sure all those children went home to mommy and daddy with a good story. As for me, I relaxed for a little bit, got a snack, and then got straight back to work. Someone later told me she was a footballer's wife. Her husband plays for Liverpool, apparently. I've still not got a clue who she is. You handled her beautifully. You should be very proud. I can only imagine the security guards being somewhat dressed up as well. Wouldn't that have been a show for the kids to see? So, a previous job of mine was being a security guard at a pub, mainly stopping drunks and minors entering the pokies room. So I'm minding my business, it is 1:30 in the morning, bar closes at 2 o'clock and all is good. A mother turns up with a toddler in a stroller and walks to the entrance. Sorry ma'am, juveniles can't come in, so you have to leave. I gesture to the big sign that says no unsupervised children in the car park. Mother leaves the child and walks in, firmly exclaiming that I'm there, therefore the child is supervised. I neither have the qualifications nor insurance to look after children. I walk in and get the hotel manager's attention. We approach entitled mother and inform her that she has to leave due to her breaching conditions of entry. Her toddler is still outside alone. We inform her that she has now been instructed to leave, and if she refuses, then police will be called. Of course, she refuses, the manager makes the call, refusal to leave licensed premises and child abandonment. Let's just say police arrived promptly. The entitled mother has entered the women's bathroom, so while one officer stays with the child, the other officer and I stand outside of the women's bathroom and wait. She walks out straight into us. Some insults thrown at us, she is firmly escorted outside, and it becomes a police matter. Report given, CCTV footage handed over and they all depart, the mother throwing more insults. Business as usual. Ah yes. Entitled mother screeching because she can't do something illegal. Just another day at the office for real. What a terrible mother. Well guys, that's it for today. If you end up enjoying this video please consider subscribing, and if you missed the last episode on the channel I'm gonna link it right here. The story is about a woman who became crazy because she thought OP had a knife and tried to assault her. Check this out if you haven't, and I'll see you in my next video.